Hey, what's up, man? I'm Gomeo, and this is Crow Whistler, the show where I talk to my friend Ted about mostly crows, sometimes some other stuff, but mostly crows. So, Ted, what do you want to talk about today?
Larry.
Larry, now that guy. Larry's a character. What do you want to know about him?
Well, I know Larry is the first crow that you named.
Yeah, that's true.
Why Larry?
Well, in the beginning, I was a little reluctant to name the crows because I didn't feel like they were mine. And I see sometimes on, like online crow pages, people say my crows. And I didn't feel like they were my crows. I call them my friends. But one day I had Larry. He was sitting up on a sign. He saw me. I stopped my car. I threw some food out, and I was like, "Come down and get it, Larry." Oh no, I didn't say Larry. I said, "Come down and get it." But he just sat there, and I'm like, "All right, well, if you come when I'm still here, I'll give you more food." That was kind of the way I was bribing the crows to be my friends, right? So if you come down and land, I'll continue to feed you as long as you stay. Larry, before he had his name, he just sat there. And I said, "All right, you see what happens, Larry? You see what happens?" That's a Big Lebowski quote, if you don't know. That's where John Goodman as Walter was smashing the Corvette. So, and I happened to be on the phone to a friend of mine at the time in the United States, a friend that I had gone to elementary school with. Her name is Rochelle. She also loves crows, so she was always happy to be on the phone with me when I was feeding the crows. And she had kept telling me, "You gotta name them. You gotta name them." And after that, I was like, "You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens?" She was like, "Oh, come on, you gotta call him Larry." So he just became Larry. And that was the first crow I named. And then after that, I ended up given names. I like to say nicknames because, I think crows have language. They have their own names. The names I give them aren't their real names. They're just nicknames. So that's how Larry came to be Larry, because I was saying, "You see what happens, Larry?" And he's still, I saw him this morning. He's still one of my favorites. He follows me. If usually I call for him. Oh, I made a song this morning, just ad lib. I made a song about Larry's Yard, and I forwarded it to some musician friends of mine. Scott and Jill? They're also known as the Chapeau Duo. No? Anyway, I'm hoping they're going to record that for me. But anyway, yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But Larry, oh, I saw Larry today, I think is what I was saying. And he follows me. And if I don't call him, usually when I go into Larry's yard, I whistle for him. But sometimes I just, especially if I'm coming up from the bottom side, I just see if he shows up. And he shows up, like he calls me, and like I hear like "ka ka ka ka" behind me, and he drops down. He makes sure he doesn't like fly way above my car. He drops down low enough that I can see him in my rear view mirror. He wants to be, because he knows I got food. And he's like, "Bro, yo, wait up." You know what I mean? And Larry has a wife who I call Lucy. She doesn't show up that often, but today I saw Larry and Lucy. I think maybe after this conversation on this episode, I'm going to include the video of Larry's Yard where I just sort of improvise the theme song for Larry's Yard, because it's kind of cool. And Larry shows up and Lucy shows up. I don't get Lucy in video often though. Lucy tends to take off when I get the camera out. You know, women don't like to have their pictures taken, right?
Is Lucy another Big Lebowski reference?
No, I just like to keep. I'm like Stan Lee.
Ah, I see.
Keep
Alliteration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to remember. Larry, Lucy, Steve, and Shelley. Now, Steve and Shelley wasn't the best alliteration because it's a s and a sh, but they both start with S. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then Fred and Wilma, there's no alliteration there. That's just Flintstones.
Mm.
And then Takuvma and Laurel,
Yes.
that's just Klingon stuff. But I guess for Larry and Lucy, I was going with alliteration. So that's Larry.
Excellent.
All right. Well, I think that's about enough. So, I mean, we're posting every day. So even if you don't see an episode, you can still see a video. So check it out. And also, what do they say? Like, subscribe, share. Is that what they say?
Yeah, I don't
Do all those things. Like the page, subscribe to the page, share the page. Thank you. And we're out. I guess that's it.